Good evening, everybody. This is Robyn Heron, your Carnivorous Grama here. I'm very excited to be here with Christy this evening from Meeting Wellness is the name of her channel. And I'm going to go ahead and read my scripture that I have that goes along with this Women of Wisdom series. And the scripture is Proverbs 14:1, and it says, "Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands." And I'm always reading from the King James Version, but it just resonates so much with me as, when we think about women who choose a proper human diet, and how the physical house is being built and how we're using wisdom by making a great choice for our bodies. So welcome, Christy. I'm so excited to have you here. If you want to go ahead and just introduce yourself, we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay, great. Yeah, like she said, my name is Christy. My channel's at Meeting Wellness. And a little bit about my health journey up to now is I spent like 30-ish years going back and forth, up and down 20 pounds. This all started in high school, believe it or not. When I first, put on those hips that we women will put on. And I wasn't overweight, but like I got teased about it a little bit because girls can sometimes be mean to each other. And I think I internalized that. And then that just sent me on this path of just destruction for myself that I didn't even realize was that. I just thought I was keeping my weight in check and that I knew what I was doing, and that, restricting and counting calories and, calories in, calories out was the way to go. And so I would go on these like starvation modes where I would just restrict my calories. And then, yes, I would lose weight, but it was very not healthy at all. I had no energy throughout any of that time, because we're talking many, many days of under 1,000, under 800 calories a day, because I would count them and then I would get competitive with myself and then I would count them again. And then I would see if I could take off 25 more the next day. And yes, I would lose weight, but I was just I had no energy. I was so unhealthy, even in my, late teens, throughout my 20s. Life was a struggle because I was tired like all the time. And then at the point where you just can't eat any less, and you're still not happy with yourself and you're still not happy with your body and you still feel fat, you just get frustrated and then you eat all the Oreos and all the Doritos and all the ice cream and all the things, right?
Totally get it.
Because you're just like, I can't do this anymore. And your poor brain is telling your body, I'm hungry, feed me something,
Right.
and so it was just this binging / starving cycle that went on for my whole life, basically. And then I did, at one point I did learn about, Atkins or low carb type of eating, but I still didn't know proper human diet. I didn't really know what counting carbs was, that there was a limit, that 20 total carbs. I didn't know that. I just knew keep your carbs low and, net carbs and that kind of thing.
Yes.
So once again, I lost weight by doing that, but I still felt terrible, right? I never had that energy. And I feel like every time I went through that cycle, I became less mentally healthy and actually was getting more and more anxiety. And things like that I didn't even really know, because it was like this slow progression over all of this span of time. And I didn't even realize that was kind of sneaking up on me, I would say. And then February of this year is when my really like proper human diet, began. So it started like any other of the other times that I wanted to lose my 20 pounds. I had gotten back up to, 140 pounds, which was my, like, if I went over that one, if I saw 140 on the scale, like that was it, man. I had to do something, right? So I just thought to myself, keto, I'm going to do keto because I've never done that before. And I didn't really know what it was, but I just knew eat a lot of fat and don't eat bread kind of thing.
Yes.
And that's what that was my extent of my knowledge, going in. So not very much.
So you started with keto in February.
I did
Okay.
because I didn't even know what a carnivore was. Like I didn't know that was a thing. I've always actually liked meat, and people would tease me like, "You're a carnivore," because I could put down more steak than my husband, you know. But of course, I was still eating the potato and the
Right.
the broccoli with it. But yeah, I've always really enjoyed a good steak. But yes, I did start keto, and through that, I joined a Facebook group, which I had never done before, for some connection and some community. And I did find that, which was super cool. And somebody in there mentioned Dr. Barry, and I had no idea who that was. But as many of us do, I went down that rabbit hole of watching his videos, just ad nauseum for yeah, because you did
I
it.
know.
Most of us did
Yeah,
that too.
I
And just
know.
I couldn't even believe like what I was hearing and the information overload. And I would rewatch the ones about, the how the food pyramid's upside down and all of that kind of stuff. And
Yes.
you just kind of go, what is happening right now?
Mm.
So it didn't take long, in February, it didn't take long for me to actually get it right this time. And so I cut my carbs, my total carbs to 20. I cut out all of the seed oils, which I had never done before.
I didn't
Um,
even know seed oils were a thing.
yeah, yeah,
It's like there's so many things to learn.
yes,
I just want to chime in here and while we're
sure.
talking about Dr. Barry and say if there's anybody that's watching this video that has not heard of Dr. Barry or does not know about Dr. Barry, his channel is absolutely incredible. And he talks about any and everything. Actually, Dr. Barry is probably the reason why I'm on carnivore diet because he is the person that I watched going from one side of the spectrum of the proper human diet with keto, and
Hmm.
then all the way to the other side of the spectrum. So this proper human diet is a spectrum, but you and I are on the far end of the spectrum with a meat-based lifestyle. So
Yes,
check out Dr.
yes.
Barry's channel.
Oh, please check him out because yeah, it's amazing. And I'll stop here too and say I do think keto can work for some people,
I do.
even long term. My mom is 71 years old and she eats a heavy meat-based keto diet. She has not cut all the vegetables out, but she's doing amazing. She has all kinds of energy. She sent me a picture of her walk today through like these grasslands, by her house. And yeah, she walks like 15,000 steps a day. And yeah, so I think it can be amazing for some people.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think everyone's an individual and you just kind of have to figure out what your own carb threshold is,
Why do you
you
feel
know?
that you went all the way to the far end of the spectrum? Like what was the thing that keeps you over here in the kind of a carnivore space?
Well, why I went there and what keeps me here are two different things, actually. So, oh, hi, Rhonda. Nice
Hi,
to see you.
Rhonda.
I love her. Okay, so I went carnivore like accidentally. I made a video about it. Like I accidentally went carnivore. It was just like I had these plates of, ribeye and, broccoli. And it was like, wait a minute, why do I even have this broccoli on here? Like, let's
Yeah.
just scoot that off to the side. I don't feel like cooking that. Let me just add an egg or add more ribeye, right? Just because I like it better. Those vegetables I never felt like they were bothering me necessarily.
Mhm.
I lost all my weight from February to June, which was the 20 pounds, while I was still on keto. But gradually over that time, just through sheer preference, I would say, everything else slid off my plate, to where now I'm pretty much beef, butter, bacon, and egg. I'm not strict with that. I will eat chicken. I will have cheese occasionally. I'm not,
Mhm.
totally strict with that. But that's generally, I think it's just a preference for me. But then after a few weeks of that, that is when all of a sudden it was like a switch flipped and I realized I had this severe case of what I think of as social anxiety. And at the
Mhm.
time, I just thought I was an introvert, and I just thought my introvertedness was just becoming more introverted, and looking back on it now that my brain fog is gone, because I had brain fog and didn't know that either.
Mhm.
But looking back, it's like, oh my gosh, I think I mean, I may still be introverted in some ways. I do like to curl up with my cat and a coffee and a good book, but I'm here talking to you. I've never met you
Yes.
before today. I'm perfectly fine. I don't feel nervous. I used to always wonder, like, what would they be thinking about me? Would they think I'm doing something strange, awkward, weird? Do I look fat? Is the hair out of place? And then I would rerun conversations in my head from earlier in the day, and like, that probably came off weird, and maybe I should have said it this way or that way. Looking back, I mean, it was like almost insane, the amount of mental energy I was putting into, like, they weren't thinking about me at all. Like, I'm very sure that they had their own things, and I wasn't one of them, right? But I was pretty much convinced that I was, and
Yes.
that's all gone. So I'm not afraid to talk to
Amazing.
people, neighbors, go inside the store. I wouldn't even want to go in the grocery store. Like, if I went to work, and then came home and sat on my couch, that I was okay. But then if I had to do something else, go somewhere else, yeah, it took a lot of mental effort to get out and do that because of the level of anxiety I had about doing it.
Right.
And that's gone. And so that's like the main thing that keeps me here. But, not to mention the energy, the better sleep. I mean, we could go into these things in more detail if you like, but
Yes.
the brain fog, it's, and that's why, honestly, all of those things are why I started my channel, because I'm like, people have to know about this. Like, I didn't
Right.
go into this like, I'm going to improve these things. It was just, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. And then I could almost care less about the 20 pounds at this point. Like, I'm
Right.
enjoying it. I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
I
it
had to,
definitely feels good to be, able to fit your smaller clothes and,
yep,
you know, I'm not really worried about weight anymore.
yes.
Even though I know I have more weight to lose, I'm not worried about losing the weight. And I totally, when I was listening to your channel, some of the videos there were resonating so much with me because of what you're talking about that social anxiety and
Hmm.
just running over and over things in your head. Every word that you said, like, what I wonder what they thought about this, or I wonder what they thought about that,
Hmm.
and that definitely is something that has been a struggle for me. So I think, you and we resonate because we have some of
Hmm.
the same types of, we have had some of the same types of issues. I also, I started Carnivore in February. So when did
Okay.
you, yeah, so you said you went to till June and then you went Carnivore. I'm going to just pop up some of these hellos. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's say hi to some people.
The
Hi,
Carnivore
Carnivore Cabby. I
Cabbie.
don't know you, but
Welcome.
hi. That's a new one for me. Nice to
Yes.
meet you.
So I saw him today on JT's channel. He was having a video with Dr. Tony Hampton.
I was
And
on that too. I saw you in there.
yeah. So we
Yeah.
met the Carnivore Cabbie there, and
Cool.
he said he came in and he subscribed to my channel. And so I also subscribed to his channel. And
Nice.
now you can also subscribe to Christy's channel
And Carnivore
at,
Cabby, I will go subscribe to you right after this, now that I know you're there.
at Meeting Wellness. So I'm gonna put that up here. Hold on one second. Do I have it? I'm just gonna create a banner for that
Yeah, sure.
so everybody can see what they need to be subscribing to. All right, let's add a banner for that. Okay. Oh, wait. Did it go?
I do not
Show it.
see a banner. Oh, there it
There we
goes, at
go.
Meeting Wellness.
All right.
Yeah, you got it. That's it.
Awesome. Okay, so that is that one. And then we have a thumbs up from Rhonda. We love you,
Hi, Rhonda.
Rhonda.
Yes, we do.
Um, and I'm Jazzy Jude. Hey, Jazzy Jude. Hello
Yes.
from San Diego.
Yes, yes. Practically my neighbor. I'm just like an hour and a half north of there.
Where are you at?
So I'm in the Temecula area. If anyone knows where Temecula is, it's like halfway between San Diego and Los Angeles, but we're inland. So, like, today, we're having a lovely 100-degree day
Oh
today.
my God, that's crazy. Wow.
People
We're
go,
having
"Doesn't get
like
hot in California."
40.
I'm like, oh, yes, it does.
43 degrees, I think it is, and here in Michigan, Kalamazoo,
Okay.
Michigan. Yes, there really
Yeah.
is a Kalamazoo.
So fall is real there.
Right. Fall
Not
is
here.
definitely real, and we are here. So Rhonda says the true meaning of an introvert is how they get their energy. I'm an introvert too. And when people drain my energy, I have to spend time to myself to get my energy back.
Yes,
Yes,
100% correct.
that's absolutely true. I think I am. I don't know if I'm not an extrovert. I don't think I'm a true introvert, but it does take a lot of energy for me to engage with people, particularly people that I don't know.
Hmm.
So this is really good because I
Hmm.
can talk to all of you guys, and it's like no pressure.
Hmm.
So that's awesome. But yeah, so do you think you're a true introvert, Christy?
I still do, but it's a night and day difference because it was like I just didn't want to talk to anybody. Like it was just I would go to work, come home, sit on my couch, like be like, I'm closed, nobody talk to me. Like I would just ignore the world,
Yes.
until the next morning when I would have to go to work. So now I'm doing all this stuff. I'm enjoying all the new friends I've met. I can still take my time to myself when I need to.
Yes.
But I'm having just a ton of fun meeting all my new proper human diet friends. And whereas before that just I would have said, ew, like, no, I don't want to talk to anybody new.
Right.
I would have not wanted to do that at all. So
Yes, absolutely. I totally resonate with that too. I'm like, you know, I yeah, it's kind of surprising that I'm doing this kind of, but I mean, I don't think I'm shy. I always used to say I was shy, but I don't think that that's actually it. I think it just takes a lot of energy for me to engage with people.
yeah, I get that. I get that.
All right, so here is Becky.
Oh, hi, Becky. Nice to
Hi,
see you.
Becky. Um, Becky Keto Oregonian says that, yeah, she needs the same. She needs to recharge alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm sitting and I'm in my phone or I'm just being quiet to myself. A lot of times, because I have 11 grandkids,
Yeah,
so
you
a lot of
do.
times they're around, but I just need that time, that moment to myself to like recharge myself. So I get that.
Yes.
All right. Carnivore Leo says that she's subscribed to Carnivore Cabby. Yay. That's
Awesome.
awesome. And then, oh my gosh, Becky was up in the mountains this morning. It was 44, less than 44.
That's
Yowza.
chilly.
Nice, nice. Okay, so here's a question. How's not drinking coffee going?
That's for you because I'm still drinking coffee, Miss Robyn.
Yes, I did stop drinking coffee this morning.
Hmm.
And what I had was, and I'll be posting a video about this. I had taken G's advice of doing like a fatty water. Well, I guess you would call it a soup. I'm gonna just call it a soup because it had
Sounds
butter
better.
and it had tallow in it, and also my collagen, which I put collagen in my coffee usually every morning.
Okay.
So I just whipped that up and then I added salt, and it was like having a hot soup. And so far today, I have not had a headache and I have not had to take a
Oh,
caffeine pill. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to try to do a daily update. It's probably going to be a short to say how I'm doing with the coffee thing because I think people are definitely interested in knowing how that's going.
yeah.
It's a big step. I mean, it's second to the sweets thing that I gave up.
Girl, I mean, you're killing it with that stuff. Good for you. More
I
power
might
to you.
I might be crazy. So do you still do any sweets or are you completely
Yes.
sweets free?
So I was just going to say, I'm not there yet, but I will tell you why or why I think. So any sweets that I do, so I do still have coffee and I do put Element chocolate salts in there. And
Mhm.
that's pretty much the only sweet I do. Um, yeah, that's really the only sweet I do. So the thing with that is when I have that, I don't say, well, now I want a cookie, or now I want
Nice.
5 more sweet things, or now let me put some extra stevia on something. Like that doesn't get me like that.
That's
Um,
good.
so I feel like, and I don't have more weight to lose and I'm not having trouble sleeping and I'm not, and I have energy throughout the day. So if any of those things, if I start putting on pounds or if I am
Mhm.
not sleeping or my energy seems to lag, then I may consider tweaking things a little bit. But for
Yeah,
right now, I'm feeling good with what I'm doing.
I
So
do not know why I'm doing so much tweaking. It's these guys out here. They're encouraging me to make these big changes. Because
I
I mean, like I said, I have a lot of weight still to lose. I mean,
well,
I won't call it
yeah.
a lot, but I can see in my body that I still need to lose more weight, but
Mhm.
I'm pretty comfortable with where I am weight wise. But the reason I gave up coffee was because of the anxiety.
Mm.
So, my anxiety, I hear a lot of people saying that when they went on carnivore, their anxiety is gone,
Yeah, mine's
completely
gone.
gone. And that is amazing. And mine it's way down from where it was, but, literally today was the first time I drove on the highway in 8 months. So,
Oh.
because of my anxiety, I get so nervous, when I get up around 70 miles an hour. I just
Mhm.
start freaking out and would have to get off the highway. So, in order to try to, alleviate that and to completely eliminate the anxiety, that's why I've decided to go ahead and try giving up coffee and see if that helps with that.
Well, that's important because when you can't drive, your world starts to shrink. And I think that's sad. Yesterday, I drove to have lunch with my mom. We both have October birthdays.
Happy
And so,
birthday.
yeah, thank you. Mine was the 19th and hers was the 4th. And so
Nice.
we had a ribeye. They gave us free bacon because we didn't want the cake. So we got birthday bacon. That was super
Oh,
cool of
nice.
them.
Perfect.
So, yes. So we got a ribeye, a couple strips of bacon, and like a cup of butter to like pour over the steaks. It was delicious. But I noticed when I was driving because it was a far drive for me. It was a nice drive though, but the first part of it was on the freeway, and I found myself having one of those carnivore epiphanies that I like to call them, which
Yeah.
was when I went to change lanes. At like you said, 70 miles an hour. I mean, I think I was used to be anxious about it because I would look and
Mm,
then re-look and then check my sensors 7 times and then still think I'm probably going to hit somebody. And
right.
I just checked like a normal person and changed lanes and didn't feel it was
That's
like,
amazing.
what? Yeah.
Amazing.
So I hear you on that because
Yeah.
I think that I was like, it didn't stop me from doing it, but it wasn't comfortable to do it. And now I was
Yeah.
just driving like a normal person.
That's how I felt.
So,
I mean, I did have a little bit of anxiety still when crossing bridges. So I was, when I cross over even a little bridge, it's like, okay, but it was just nowhere near as bad as it was 8 months ago before I
wow.
started carnivore, when I literally just stopped driving on the highway and drive all the way through town, drive all around the side roads and the
Mm,
back roads and everywhere to get anywhere I need to go, instead of just cutting through by jumping on the highway and getting there in 10 minutes. I'm
right.
taking 30 minutes or 40 minutes to get where I need to
Right.
go. So, yeah, so I'm really looking forward to seeing if eliminating coffee actually makes that completely gone. That would be incredible. So I felt pretty good about it today, though. That was the first time, and I feel pretty proud of that. So
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, keep us
that's
posted because I'm super
I
interested.
will. Carnivore Cabbie says, I drink way too much coffee, 6 to 8 cups a day. I used to drink a lot of coffee. How much coffee do you drink, Christy?
Usually three. Like I'll have two in the morning. And then here's the problem with Keurig, you guys. It made it way too easy because I
Yes.
never used to drink coffee after that. Because you'd have to make the whole pot. So then I just make my pot in the morning and be done. But now, yeah, I'll have another one usually after work. Just because I just enjoy it. It's
Yeah.
comforting, and I do have a little heavy cream in there, and I don't go crazy. I do measure it. I put a half a tablespoon and
Yes.
that's it. But I do enjoy that, and I don't, that's usually around 3:30. So I still have a few hours before I go to bed at that point, and
Right.
I'm sleeping fine. So yeah, about 3 cups a day, two in the morning, one in the afternoon.
I usually, well, before today, I was doing 1 cup of regular generally, at the most two, and then 1 cup of decaf. And then I can't have coffee after 12 noon or else I will
Okay.
be awake. Which it never used to do that to me, but now that I'm getting a little older, I guess more
Mm,
sensitive to it. But yeah, so carnivore cabbie, I think you should just like cut back a little bit if you want to try to wean off, if you're considering thinking about it, just cut back. So I used to drink a lot more coffee before. and not now I was down to like 1 cup of regular, 1 cup of decaf, and then
Mhm.
now today 0 cups.
Yeah,
So
I could probably switch my afternoon one to decaf because really it's about the flavor. Like I just enjoy the
enjoy it,
experience, the
yes, and
coffee
I do.
experience.
I really like coffee. I like
Mhm.
the way it tastes. Of
Yeah.
course, now drinking it without any sweetener is not the best. It doesn't have the best taste, but I like cream in it and stuff like that. But I kind of cut back on cream because I'm learning all the different things that might have a sensitivity to.
Mhm.
And have you noticed that you have sensitivities or anything that you cannot eat or
I
drink?
have not noticed anything like that other than the fact that something in those vegetables was making me anxious and tired and all those things that I said, the brain fog. When I went carnivore, that stuff went away. So if you
Yeah.
count those things, then yes. As far
Yes.
as stomach issues, IBS or things like that, I never experienced anything like that. Like people say, when they get broccoli and they just can't, I never had that.
Okay.
But it's
Yeah.
when I got rid of the last of the vegetables that I got this mental clarity and the food freedom. I don't have cravings for anything.
That is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
nothing. Like I don't crave anything. I was telling my mom at lunch yesterday, someone could be sitting right there eating ice cream and I would not even care.
yep. As a matter
When
of
it
fact, I
comes
just
to
came from Red Lobster for dinner with my best friend. It was her birthday yesterday. We went to Red Lobster for dinner. I ordered like endless shrimp, and I just
Mhm.
had them do my shrimp scampi just naked in the bowl and send it through the thing. It was just bland shrimp, which I ate 6 things of it.
Nice.
So 36 shrimp, and I just had them bring me some drawn butter, and I put my red mineral salt on it, and everybody was eating baked potatoes and
Mhm.
broccoli and salad and all the different things, and
Yeah.
I'm not tempted by that stuff anymore.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's the most amazing part for me because I used to have so much self-control to not get any bigger than I was. You know what I mean? And it was
Yeah.
it was insane the amount of mental space that took up. And now that space is free to do other stuff,
Right.
like,
Exactly.
I have a son in high school, he's in his band, so I was at every football game to cheer on the band, not the football team.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he's also in robotics, so he had his first competition today.
Yes.
So he's like doing computer coding and all this cool stuff, and I get to be involved with that because I have the energy to do it. And before I
Yes.
just sort of been like, yeah, you go ahead. I'm too
Mhm.
tired and
Yeah,
I'm
I think
whatever.
that's what the way I was when my kids were young, you know?
Mhm.
Now I have grandkids and I just have more energy. I'm able to I don't have to sleep as much as I used to.
Mhm.
And yeah, so it just gives you the opportunity to be able to have a lot more things that you can do. And then that food freedom, like I don't know if you were the same way. I think I heard you saying this maybe that about thinking about food all the time. Like,
All the time because I was starving.
yeah,
Yes, and then I was counting the calories, but counting them once wasn't enough. I had to count them again and recount them and then recount them and then calculate them again and then decide, okay, so then because of that calculation, what am I going to do tomorrow? And can I cut out a
right.
fourth of a serving of this
My
so that my
God.
calorie count will go down so that I can add up and then I would start adding up tomorrow's calories. And that was always taking up headspace, like literally like, some little part of my brain was doing that almost all day every day. If I was awake, that was probably going on in my head somewhere. Yeah,
Right. That is
terrible.
so it's so terrible. Reminds me of like being on Weight Watchers. I did Weight Watchers at a time.
The points and
And
everything.
switching and swapping and oh, you get this, you can have 0 points for this, but if you eat this is 5 points and oh, I hated all that point counting.
Mhm,
I'm so happy
mhm.
that we don't have to count anything. I mean, unless you really want to, like I know Anita's doing some counting with protein and things like that right now.
Yes.
But you don't have to count anything on carnivore. This is
Yes.
easy.
Yes, I mean, she has specific goals that she's trying to reach. I was just talking with
Mhm,
her about that today.
mhm.
She has specific goals that she's trying to reach, and I get it. Like if I
Yeah,
had something like that, I would try that too. So I'm not
right.
anti that. I think hers is very specific to protein and also because of her age, trying
Yes,
not to drop that muscle mass.
right.
And I'll be there soon enough with that age.
Me
And,
too.
who knows when I hit, menopause and things like that, which is coming soon too.
Thank
Maybe
God
I'll
for
need to,
menopause.
yeah, yeah, right. That's coming my way very soon. So, maybe then I will have to readjust, right? We all do. We go through different stages of life.
Yes.
I don't think that it would derail me at this point because I'm just more mentally healthy.
Mhm.
I think I could handle it. But I think before that just would have sent me, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. But now it's great to not have to count. And I eat like today I had 4 big slices of picanha.
Yeah.
And now I'm stuffed still, and I'm not thinking about, am I gonna fit into my jeans tomorrow? Like I'm not. I mean, I would have been in the past, which is why I know
Right.
to say that, but like I'm not at
Yeah,
all.
I get it. Just like I said, I ate 6 things of shrimp scampi, well, it really wasn't scampi, it was just shrimp,
Yeah.
but I ate 36 shrimp, you know? I probably would have been thinking about, well, how many calories is that?
Mhm.
How much butter am I
Mhm.
eating? And all that kind of
Mhm.
thing, and, it's just I'm glad I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah.
So Evelyn says that she still has sugar cravings. Some days is worse than others, and I can yeah, I agree with that. Some days are worse than others. It's been about 3 weeks since I gave up sweets, and I was thinking today, it's so funny. I was thinking, "Why are you torturing yourself? Why, Robyn, are you torturing yourself, giving up everything?" But, I mean, it's worth it because one thing is I felt like maybe it was contributing to the fact that my brain fog was not gone.
Okay.
And though everything's better, you know what I mean? It's much better than it was, but I want it to be gone. Like, I don't want to have to deal with brain fog. I'm concerned about like dementia,
Mhm.
Alzheimer's, that kind of thing. So I am willing to give it up if it will help with my mental health or my brain
Yes.
health. So that's why I did it.
Well, I hope I'll be one of the first to know that moment that you have that when that brain
Right.
fog is gone,
Oh
because
my
I know that
gosh.
moment and I'm going to be right there like celebrating with you because it feels amazing when you just have
Yes.
that clarity.
I'm looking
Um
for it.
Sugar craving, have you tried salt, Evelyn? Cuz I know I heard, who was it the other day talking about is salt and sugar, it's actually the same receptors or
Oh,
something,
okay.
and if you take
Mhm.
some like the pink Himalayan salt and just lick it on your palm. Somebody literally said that in a video the other day. I don't know if it was Dr. Boz maybe
Oh,
or
wow.
somebody. Give it a try, Evelyn. I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not giving medical advice, but I
Me
did
either.
hear that like yesterday or the day before. Like lick
Yes.
salt off your palm if you're having a
Right.
craving for sweets.
That's a great idea. And then the other thing I've heard is if you're having cravings of any kind, is to eat bacon. I
Bacon.
heard that
Yeah, that
bacon
was,
is a great quick craving quencher.
yeah. And
Also,
maybe it's the salt on that bacon, Robyn. Maybe.
maybe. So if you guys have any more questions for Christy, feel free to put those in the chat. I
Please.
do want to just ask about your exercise regimen.
Yay.
Can you talk about it a little bit about what's going on with exercise.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Rhonda actually is telling us right there who it was. 2KK said, I knew I heard it yesterday, Rhonda. You have a better memory than I do. Look at you.
Wow.
I watch too many videos. That's what that
I
tells me.
know there's so many. There are so many. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
crazy.
Okay, so
Right.
my exercise. So here's how that went down. I never planned to exercise, just like I'd never planned to be a carnivore. But when I went carnivore, one of the things that happened was I started needing less sleep, and then I would wake up feeling energy, like just ready to go. Like people have to say, rein it in. People are telling me you're too loud. You need to calm down. So I trying to do that, but
Yeah.
I had all this energy, and it's like, what am I going to do? And I had just seen, as my friend Rhonda can attest, Dr. Sean O'Mara's video. He's done a few, but the one I specifically saw was the interview with Dr. Barry. And it was all about visceral fat and how that's such an important biohealth marker. And it was talking about sprinting. And kind of at the same time, when I went carnivore and I was carnivore for the first few weeks, I did put on about 7 pounds.
Oh, wow.
At the beginning. Yeah. And considering that I had lost 20, I mean, putting on 7 is almost half, or, it's about a third of what I had lost. But I wasn't going to let that, because I knew my clothes were fitting the same way. Right. But then again, when you've been so sick about that for so long and been so disordered, it's difficult, right? But I'm like, I am not going back there. So what am I going to do? Like, what can you control? Because it's not going to be going back to the other things that were making you have the brain fog and all of that. So it was kind of a combination of those, seeing that video and putting on those pounds. But I knew it had to be muscle or something, because like I said, my clothes were fitting the same.
Right.
So what I did was I bought a scale, like an InBody type of scale that tells you all of those measurements. Now I understand that they're not 100% accurate.
Right.
But I do feel like maybe they can help you track, trends. And so I decided that I was going to do a sprint challenge for the month of September. So at the end of August, I got on my scale and took all of those, yes, of course, the weight, but I wasn't as concerned about that. I wanted to know how much fat I had. The scale says it can measure visceral fat as well, muscle mass, bone density, all of those things. And then I sprinted, every morning. I know, Rhonda, I can hear her going, don't do it every day. Because I didn't really research it. And in that video, I don't recall, I mean, I could have just not remembered, but I don't recall him telling, Dr. O'Mara telling, the correct sprinting protocol or anything like that. Just that sprinting was this great way to like reduce visceral fat and then, believe it or not, put on muscle, even though it's just these quick bursts. But he says, look at the Olympians that do the quick distances, like the 50 meters and the 100 meters. They're the buffest ones of all the track athletes and stuff. And so, oh, that's awesome, Evelyn. Yeah, we'll get to the squats because that's coming up next. Or that's what I'm doing
just
right
put
now.
up I'm gonna just try to share this screen. I want to just let everybody know what is visceral fat. So
great.
Let me see if I'm able to do it.
So my scale told me that my visceral fat measurement was 6 at the beginning of September, or beginning of September. And I think it was between 0 and 12 was normal. At the end of September, it said it was a 5.
Oh, okay.
As well as my overall body fat went from, I don't know the exact numbers. I did do a video if anybody cares about all these numbers, but it was my overall subcutaneous fat was over 20, and then it was like 18 point something, at the end of sprinting. So I'm still sprinting, and I just sprint every other day, which is how it's really supposed to be done. So
for some reason I can't share. Sorry.
Oh,
I just want to say what it is though. Let me just read it. It says it's visceral body fat, also known as hidden fat, is fat stored deep inside the belly, wrapped around the organs, including the liver and intestines. It makes up about 1/10 of all the fat stored in the body. So last time I was talking to Rhonda, and she was talking also about visceral fat, and I just wanted to make sure that people know what we're talking about. So when they talk about fatty liver or fatty kidneys or fatty intestines, that's the type of fat that we're talking about. So the internal kind of fat.
Yes. And it has all kinds of negative consequences to your body if your visceral fat is too high or too elevated. So go watch Dr. Sean O'Mara, because I'm not the expert. He is. And, but it was just super interesting to me. And so, I just had all this energy and I thought, what am I going to do with it? Well, sprinting sounded like a pretty good idea based on the fact, my sprint is someone else's jog, you guys. I am not out there. I see Carnivore Cabby saying I'm not made for sprinting. I am 48 years old. Like, I am definitely not, I'm trying to think of all the sprinters from my day. Flojo. And like, do you remember those
Right.
sprinters from like the 80s? No, that's not me.
No,
I'm very
no.
sure nobody's looking at me going, look at her sprinting. They're like, why is she jogging and then stopping after 50 feet? But
Yeah, I've tried it a couple times. I think a couple people have mentioned it. I did go and look at some of Dr. Sean O'Mara's videos, and so quite interesting things. Actually, he was talking about those spider veins. He has a video about spider
Mm.
veins, and so I was like, that's really interesting. I'm gonna really kind of understand what he's talking about with that, because he says that you can get rid of those, and I have a
Well,
lot on my
I
legs.
don't have very many, but I had a few. I don't know if I have them or had them. I'm going to go look. They're like kind of behind my knees. I think they're from crossing my legs, which I'm
Yeah,
doing
he
right
says
now.
that you
I'm
can
going to
get rid of
uncross
those.
them.
He was saying you should do sunlight.
Okay.
I think I heard you talking about this. You sunlight and sprinting was one thing.
Hmm.
Gosh, I can't remember all of them, but diet was one.
Okay.
And he had a whole list of things that you can do to get rid of your spider veins. I was like, this doesn't really make any sense. Like, but it's healing your body from the inside out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So it's
Well, I'm
just
gonna go check into that and see.
yeah.
When you said veins, here's what it made me think. And I got blood work on the same day that I went out to lunch with my mom. So I guess that was yesterday. It feels like a million years ago. It was early in the morning, when you go get your blood work. But here's what's cool about that is in the past, my veins have been so small that they have to dig around in there and they can never find them. And then they have to go to the other arm. And then I'm over there just passing
Oh,
out
wow.
because it's like it's just, it's a whole thing.
Trying to get
Well,
your blood, yeah.
since I started sprinting, I have these more visible. Now it's not in the elbow where they would normally take the blood, but
Right.
like in my forearm, I have these two
Mm.
veins that are like, you could see them. And so I
Wow.
said, do you see those veins right there? I've been sprinting and these veins are now, I think I'm increasing my blood flow to my extremity.
Wow.
So she's like,
Okay.
oh, yeah, we can take your blood from there. It was no big deal. I didn't feel like passing out. They took the blood, one
Wow.
poke, done. And I was like, this is
Amazing.
great. I mean, not that having to give blood is great, but compared to my
Right.
previous experiences with drawing my blood, it was easy.
That's
Easy.
amazing.
And stay tuned for my numbers because that blood work is coming
Yeah. I
when I get
have
back.
mine, and I keep meaning to do a video about them. They're just sitting here waiting for me to do the video, so I gotta
Oh,
get that
well,
done.
okay. I don't have my numbers, so I'm just waiting. I'm in,
Yeah.
limbo waiting for them to come back.
Yes. So Rhonda's a sprinter. We've seen her on her channel sprinting.
Hmm.
And I think I think we seen you sprinting as well?
So on the day one, so I did the 30-day sprint challenge, and every single day I definitely posted. I think at the beginning I was saving up like 2 or 3 days and editing them together. And after that, I
Mhm.
just was posting because it kept me like, I didn't want to have to post that I didn't do it because I told everybody I was going to do it. And
Yes.
so posting kept me honest. And so, yeah, I sprinted every single morning in September. And yes, on day one and on day 30, so the first day and the last day, yes, I had my son come out and show me jogging, which was my sprinting. So
Yes.
Carnivore Cabbie, I live on a cul-de-sac and I basically sprint from one end to the other. I don't know exactly, like I haven't measured it. I don't know how far it is. Maybe I don't know, 6 houses or like along that cul-de-sac, if
That's
that
pretty
helps you.
good. That
And
seems
then
far.
it takes about 20 seconds. And also, I don't, because you're supposed to sprint 15 to 20 seconds at a time, and you're supposed to vary it a little bit
Okay.
so that your body doesn't get too used to it. So some shorter, some longer. And
Mm.
it's just max, whatever your max is, that's your sprint, right? So it's just max intensity for 15 to 20 seconds. And then I wear my Fitbit, and I don't know if you're supposed to do it like this at all, but this is what I do. I hit the timer, so I kind of know. I start off slow because, like I said, I'm 48, so I don't just want to start off at a dead sprint because I know for sure I'm going to pull a muscle if I do that. So I kind of ease into that sprint and then take off from there. My heart
Okay.
rate goes up, especially the more I do it. Like on my fourth or fifth, I do 8 sprints in all.
Okay.
On
8
my fourth or
sprints.
yeah, on my fourth or fifth one, my heart rate will get up to like one in the 140s by the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll wait until it calms back down into the 120s before I go again. But
Okay.
what I noticed is it used to be it would be way up there on sprint 1 and 2. And now I can do sprint 1 and 2 and my heart will barely, like, it goes up, but not, it only goes up to maybe 128 or something, not 148.
Oh, that's pretty good.
On that first sprint. So I feel like
Yeah.
I'm cardiovascularly
Yeah.
getting better, and I for sure am putting on muscle. My husband's a massage therapist. I know it's a rough life for me,
That's nice.
but he hadn't given me a massage in a while. And after that month of sprinting, he's like, "Oh yeah, there's definitely muscle in there that used to just be mushy, and now it's
Oh, that's
your legs are muscular."
awesome.
So I'm like,
That's
"All right, well,
awesome.
that's all I needed to hear."
I'm gonna have to try it because I
So
really, when I saw about those spider veins, I was like, yes, my legs are pretty bad to the point where I'm like,
yeah,
I have to wear long shorts because I don't want anybody to see my legs because they're
yeah.
so veiny. But I'm gonna have to definitely give sprinting a try.
Take pictures, because even if it doesn't all the way go away, if you see improvements, that's going to be so
Yes.
motivating. That's
I did
something I
some
wish I
pictures
had.
this
People always
morning.
want a before picture. I'm like, I don't have one because
Yes.
I didn't want to be seen.
I know. I didn't take a picture right before I started this way of eating either, because I was like, I don't know. I feel like I did it on purpose, but now I wish I had.
Hmm.
But I was doing videos because I was planning to start my channel. I was doing videos, so I have some videos, and I can definitely see the difference in my face and body, like how chubby I was back in February.
Yeah. I mean, all I have is my old pants. So I did a thumbnail with my old pants where you can
Yeah.
definitely see how many inches, or because they used to fit like tight, you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, as far as befores, I don't. And I didn't even take measurements at first. But even just in September, I lost 2 inches off of my
Wow.
waist, hips, and thighs
That's from sprinting, right?
from sprinting. Two
That's
inches off my
amazing.
waist, hips, and thighs. My chest stayed the same, by the way. So carnivore benefits. My chest did
I
not
was
go
saying
down.
that. I haven't asked anybody this yet, but like somebody, I think it was 5 Minute Body, Rena. She talks
Mm-hmm.
about those butter boobs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's a real thing.
It's a real thing. So I'm very sure they went down a little bit from the beginning, like from losing the 20 pounds. But like
Mhm.
when I sprinted the whole month, I had 2 inches come off my waist, hips, and thighs, and I'm a pear shape. So the hips and thighs usually do not
There
budge.
you go.
The
Mhm.
waist
Oh.
is where it's going to come off easy, but my waist is 24 inches right now. Like there's no more that's coming off of there.
Wow.
So,
That's
but
awesome.
the hips and thighs are still, I've got a little
Mhm.
bit. If there's anything left, it's there. So, but for
Yeah.
those inches, I think I had lost a half an inch was in the waist. I think I went from 24 and a half to 24 from sprint. And the other inch and a half, though, was hips and thighs and none off of the bust area.
Mhm.
So that was super. Yeah,
Right.
I think it is a real thing. I think it
I
does,
think it's a real thing.
because when I lost weight from starving myself, I was definitely like I'm not very, I'm like I said, I'm pear shaped, so all my weight's down lower, not up higher, but
Yep.
definitely less came off
Yeah.
than
Those are
doing
usually
something.
the first to go, honestly.
Yes,
I
when I
mean, so
starved, yes,
for me, it's always my neck, and I'm like, okay, like I really don't need to have a super skinny neck. Like, yes, it looks like my head is on a spindle sometimes when I lose weight, but my breasts would be the first to go. They're
yes,
going
and
first.
that's what happens to us pear shapes, because yep,
Yeah.
it'd be that and then my waist. Which the waist is good, but it's like, can the
Yeah.
hips just please follow suit?
Follow suit. Yeah, just
Thighs
follow
a little bit? Come on.
suit. Cat Diamond is here. Hi, Cat
Hi,
Diamond.
Kat Diamond from Northern California.
Oh, lots of
Awesome.
California folks in here tonight. That's
Yay, my
awesome.
fellow Cali folks. I love it.
Carnivore Cabby had to drop off, so thanks for Carnivore
Oh, bye,
Cabby
Carnivore Cabby.
here. Let's see. Okay, so let's go back to talking about exercise. So there's a couple other
Okay.
things that you're doing. You
Yes,
want
I
to tell
am.
about
So
those?
somebody had said earlier about the squats. They're on it with me on the squats. So I
Mhm.
enjoyed my fitness challenge so much in September. And part of that was because I discovered about halfway through that Miss Rhonda was also doing sprints. I was like, I'm not the only one sprinting. Yay.
Yes,
So
she's
that was
so
super
encouraging.
motivating. She is. And so that was super cool. But I just enjoyed it because I would go outside and I would like talk to people. Yes, I said I enjoyed talking to people when I was sprinting. Like, how weird is that? I wasn't worried about what are they thinking about me sprinting? What if I
Right.
fall? What if I look like an idiot sprinting? What if they wonder what the heck I'm doing? Like, no one else is sprinting. I'm the only one sprinting, but it's not bothering me if somebody's walking by, walking their dog, hey, good morning,
Yes.
and then between that and like we have hawks here and we have, you'd see these and the hot air balloons and like all this cool stuff that I never would have seen if I didn't go
Yes.
out at 6 in the morning and do some
Right.
sprinting. So I really enjoyed it so much. And I did feel like I got quite like a lot of physical benefits as well. I did lose almost that whole 7 pounds back off, as well as putting on muscle and according to my in-body
Nice.
scale. And I thought, well, what can I do in October?
Hmm.
So my friend Mike Shaw TV and I, well, he wanted to join the gym, but he couldn't really afford it. And I said, well, I've been doing fitness challenge this month. Like, let's do a fitness challenge together. And so he's like, okay, let's do that. And so for the month of October, we have been doing 100 squats every single day. And then push-ups are a little different because he's a male and I'm a female. So it's
Yep.
basically push-ups to failure. Like, what do you think, you can do? So, hey, 10 squats a day, I'll take it, Cat Diamond. Just go for improvement. That's it. If you're doing the squat challenge with me and you're not doing 100, great. You do what you can do.
I'm doing it with you,
Yes, I'm
but
loving
I'm
it.
not. Yeah, I'm not doing 100, but I'm doing a few. I'm trying to do. I think I'm
Awesome.
up to 25.
Awesome. Awesome. So I started where I couldn't do 100 at once. This morning, I busted out 100 squats in one
What?
set.
I mean, I've done so many squat challenges in the past, but my knee is so jacked up right now. I'm
Yes.
just like I'm I feel like it's good for my knee to be doing those squats actually.
So Miss
So,
Anita, ketogenic woman, started on the squats too, and she has
mhm,
major knee issues, but she was
yes,
brave because I'm not filming myself doing my squats. I mean, I think I did one on a short to like call out Mike. I'm like, there's my squat, right? In the short. But I mean, she filmed a whole video for her senior citizen, like her viewers that are senior citizens, because she was like, they're not going to go see Coach Bronson or somebody, right? She's like, they're looking up to me. So what can I
right,
do about that? It
yes.
was amazing. Anyway, but yeah, so it's just really cool. And so, yes, I'm doing my 100 squats a day and push-ups. I started where I thought I could only do 2, but the very first day I was able to do 3, like full-fledged on the toes push-ups. I did 7. Like, I'm up to 7. I
That's
could do 7
amazing.
push-ups. I'm like, and before this, before Carnivore and before sprinting, I could do 0 push-ups for sure.
Yeah, I've been doing the wall push-ups,
Yes.
not the floor push-ups.
Yes. So what I
So,
do is I do as many floor push-ups as I can do. And then I go to I was doing wall and now I'm doing kitchen counter because you can get a little bit more of an angle on it.
oh yeah, that's
So
a good
because
idea.
obviously I'm never going to get stronger if I don't. So I do push-ups on my toes, regular push-ups to failure, which right now
Mhm.
is 7. And then I go do what I can do, at the kitchen counter just to keep increasing that strength so I can hopefully get 8.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, and
Yeah.
then next month I got a hula hoop challenge. I bought a weighted
I'm like,
hula hoop.
I gotta get in on that one. That sounds like
Do it.
fun.
Okay, so I did post a link. So if you know Carrie at My Metamorphosis, this was
Uh-huh.
her. This was her idea. So now it's like sprinting was my idea. Mike was the push-up squat guy, and then Carrie was like, "Let's do something fun like hula hoop." I'm like, "I'm down to hula hoop. Let's do it." So
Okay.
she picked out a hula hoop. I purchased the same one. If you want to
Mhm.
get that one, I did a video on it. There's a link. It
Yep.
is an affiliate link to be very clear, but it's just so we can all do the same one if anybody wants
Right.
to. It's a 3-pound weighted hula hoop.
Oh, 3-pound
So
weighted hula hoop. Okay.
yes, yes.
Have to
So it's
check it
actually
out.
meant for exercise. It's not just, a kid like you did when you were a kid.
Right.
So Cat Diamond, here's what I do. On my toes, I don't do every day because that's really hard. And I was kind of doing them every day. And then when I got more, there was one day I got down there in that push-up position and I was like, nope, my arms just didn't want to. So I'm
Mhm.
doing the full push-ups every other day. And then I do countertop push-ups every day just to get a few in. But getting down there on the ground in that full push-up position and getting 7 of those, done, I'm doing that every other day because for me, that's difficult.
Yeah.
So every other day to let my muscles kind of have a break. Nicole, hey there.
Oh, this is Nicole. Hi, Nicole.
Yes.
Nicole, you're a little bit late. That's okay.
That's okay.
We'll be wrapping it up soon, but feel free to come back and watch it again later.
Yeah, watch the replay. It's all good.
All
I'm
right. So we
excited to
just
talk
oh
to
my
Nicole
gosh,
too.
we have like 6 minutes. Oh my word. What is my favorite question on here? So let me see. Let's talk about food.
Okay,
So
let's do it.
you've been cooking in the cast iron. Can you tell us about your
Oh my
favorite
gosh.
foods to eat and your favorite foods to cook?
Okay, so first of all, you're right. I have been cooking in the cast iron. And the reason you know that is because I'm making cooking videos, which is the most hilarious thing because in every single one, I'm like, I am not a cook or a chef. And then
You
in
are
comes my
now?
cat. Like, I am now. My cat always comes in and has to get involved and all of that. So it's like the most unprofessional, but you know what? I'm having fun.
You are, yes.
And I just figure if people want to see what I'm eating, then great, let's do it. This is what I do.
Yeah.
This is what I do. And if that helps somebody, then great. Because I do get the question a lot about, what's your favorite cut of beef and things like that. So
Yes.
my very favorite cut of beef is picanha, actually, which is a
I've never
sirloin.
been able to find picanha.
Okay, so go to your grocery store the butcher counter, and ask and see if they'll do it, because that's what my mom had to do. Even
Okay.
like, so I can get mine at my Walmart. Sorry, I was just on my microphone. Sorry if that was
No
loud.
problem.
I can get mine at my Walmart at my mom's Walmart. She just lives an hour south. They don't have it, but she
Oh,
went to a local grocery store, asked them for it. They knew what it was and they cut it for her. And the benefit of that is they'll leave all the fat on if you ask them. So the picanha has a
oh,
big fat cap, but
nice.
already, but it's general practice that they trim that to about 1/4 of an inch. Well, if you tell them not to, they'll just leave it all on. So her fat cap is about 1/2 inch thick.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. So it's delicious. And so I make one of those every Saturday.
How do you make it?
Yeah, so I have a recipe on my channel. So if you can't remember all of this, or you don't have a pen right now, but it's very easy. It is time consuming a little bit, which is why I do it on the weekend, but it's very easy. So preheat your oven to 500 degrees. Get
Mhm.
yourself just a Pyrex dish, something that can hold the juice. Take the picanha out, dry it off a little bit. I rub it with the Redmond's smoked salt. Just rub it. I don't measure stuff. So
Me
just, I don't know, whatever amount of salt looks good, just rub that amount of salt on there. I really like the smoked salt. Then I take my Kerrygold butter and I soften it. It's salted butter, and I soften it. So not melted, but just soft, like really soft in the microwave. And then I just like smear that all around the whole thing to where it almost looks yellow.
That
And
sounds
then
amazing.
it's really good. And then you just stick it in the oven. It's at 500 degrees. However big your picanha is, it's 5 minutes for every pound of meat you have. So if you have a 2-pound picanha, 10 minutes. Then
Okay.
you turn the oven off and just let it sit in there like that. Like, don't open the door, but just let it sit like that for 2 hours.
Okay.
And then what
Yep.
will happen is the outside gets this like beautiful, brown kind of crust on it from the 500-degree blast, but the inside is just this even pink all the way through.
Sounds
And
like how I make a rib, prime rib. That's how I do my prime rib.
okay, awesome. So yeah, so it's just, I mean, you can't, I mean, if I can't mess it up, you guys can't mess it up. Like
Mhm.
it turns out great every time. I make one on Saturday, and that's what I eat on kind of throughout the weekend. Yeah,
Nice. That
yeah.
sounds good. I'm gonna go to my store. I went to the store yesterday, I think it was 2 days ago, and
Mhm.
I found that they had chuck eye steak
I was
for
like, why is she only buying two? You need to buy
four.
20 of those.
I went back and I got like 8 more today because
Yeah.
but when I went back today, they had cut them all and packaged them, so they were
Mm,
smaller. When
okay.
because today was the last day of the sale.
Okay.
So, when I got there, that case was empty. I was like,
Wow.
"Man, I should have went back yesterday and got like I should have bought like 20 pounds of it, but I just bought
Serious. When
like 10
I'm
pounds.
sorry, I didn't let you say the price. You guys, it was 4.99 a pound.
4.99 a pound. I
And
couldn't
I
believe it.
recently discovered Chuck Eye steaks. And what
Me
I
too.
do, because I never see them out, like they don't have them out the way that you were at the meat case and they were just out like
Yes.
that. That
Uh-huh.
doesn't happen. But I went online because you can order groceries online at my just my local grocery store. They had chuck eyes. They were not on sale, so the regular price was $7.99, and I just ordered a bunch of them, like I think 10 packages. And
Mhm.
then and some other things too, which we're not talking about that, so I won't get into that. But yeah, the shopper that shops your, I said personal shopper, and everyone was like, ooh la la, personal shopper. I was
Yeah.
like, that's just what they call it. But they go to the meat counter for you. They request it from the butcher. The butcher cuts them. Now, I will
Yeah.
say they were small. They were half a pound to 3/4 pound. That's okay. I just cooked two of
Yeah.
them.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, it was a great way to get them. I have been wanting to try chuck eyes. What
Very
did you
good.
think of them? Were they like,
They're super good. I mean, it's so similar to to ribeye in taste. It's a little bit, I thought it was a little bit tougher, but I cooked it probably needs to be cooked more like medium rare,
mm-hmm,
to rare in order for it to be very, very tender.
yes,
But yeah, it was super good. I salted it, and just cooked it up in the cast iron, and it was fabulous. Enjoyed it
yes,
very, very much.
yes, I did
Mhm.
too. I still think I think ribeye has a slight edge. It has a little bit
Yes.
more of a depth of flavor, but like
Yes.
for the price, if the
Mhm.
ribeye's on sale, pick the ribeye. Otherwise, go with that chuck eye. You're not going to be sorry. It was good. I'm very glad because everybody kept telling me like it's the poor man's ribeye. Do it, so good.
Yes. Yes, yes. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how tender and good it was.
hmm
'Cause, chuck roast, when I cook chuck roast, I cook it like 5 hours in the oven.
Yes,
So, it takes a very long braising time, but these, you can just whip it up in 10 minutes and you're eating.
and
So
and don't
good.
buy chuck steak. So chuck steak is like the chuck roast cut into steaks. That's going to be
Mhm.
tough. Make sure it's chuck
Yeah, chuck
eye.
eye.
It's different.
Yes. That's why when I went to the counter, I asked, like, "Is this chuck or chuck eye?" And the guy was like, "It's
hmm
chuck eye, they just keep naming it wrong." I'm like, "Okay, I'll take it." It
Cool. Yeah,
was
it's
so good. We enjoyed it
try
very
it
much.
because it's really great on a budget for sure.
Okay, we're out of time. I'm trying to
Man,
see if I can't believe it. This hour went so fast. Wow. So, is there anything on
oh,
your heart that you wanna share?
so you know what? I'm going to answer question number. Is it 4 on your list? That's what
Okay.
I want to share because on your list of questions that you sent me, question number 4 said carnivore is pretty restrictive. How did you end up here? And I
Wow.
just want to say that I flipped the script on that. To me, being stuck counting calories, being hungry 100% of the time, having brain fog, laying in bed for 9 hours a night, but not getting any rest, really remembering the whole night because you're not really sleeping and just feeling exhausted, having no energy to spend time with your kids. I didn't even get into my physical symptoms. I had cystic acne on my chin. Um, I had I think what was the beginning of arthritis in my right hand, and my right knee would swell every day. My ankles and feet would swell every day to the extent that I was wearing a bigger shoe size. Like those things are restrictive. That's restrictive. The
Right.
carnivore diet unrestricted me. And I've heard someone else say this yesterday, and it's like I was like, "Amen, sister," because when you're eating meat, it's so delicious until you're full, and then you're like, ugh. Like right now, a bite of picanha, which is my favorite cut, sounds absolutely disgusting because my stomach is full of picanha, and I don't want anything. I don't want that. I don't want anything. In about
Yes.
18 hours from now, it's going to sound 100% delicious. I don't get tired of it. So
Yeah.
I don't go, oh man, I got to eat another ribeye today. Dang it! Like that's just not how
Right.
it is. So I mean, it's the food cravings. It's the all of that that's restrictive. The carnivore
Yes.
diet to me, for me, isn't restrictive at all. It's freed me. So
I'm with you. I'm totally with you on that. I totally agree. I think that, people think um, that it's gonna be hard or, hard to give things up, and maybe it is at first, but giving up all of the physical ailments, the mental issues that you have,
yep,
giving up, all of that focus on food all the time, is that to me is what I've given up from going
Yep.
on carnivore. So I'm totally with you.
Yep.
I've just brought your channel up. I just wanted to have you just talk a little bit about what you're doing on your channel.
Okay.
You're killing it. I love
Thanks.
the quality of your videos. They're
Oh,
awesome.
I had to learn all the things. So,
Yep.
oh, there's me with my little, see, I got blood work. That's, you see where the vein is on my arm where they
Yes.
took the blood from. But that was like, she's like, that's a wiggly vein too when she was doing that. Anyways, I
Mm.
did not know the first thing about YouTube. I don't think that I really used my phone to film anything in my life. I definitely did not know how to edit videos,
Mhm.
all of
Mhm.
that. But I started my channel because I am not the person with the 100-pound weight loss before and after to show
Right.
that. You can't look at me and be like, wow, look at that. I want to do that. Yes, I lost 20 pounds. Okay. And that's great. But it's all of the mental benefits that I've already talked about. And that's why I really created my channel. Cause I'm like, and Carrie from Homestead How has inspired a lot of us. He was like,
Yes.
if you have had these benefits, like make a channel about it. And I was like, you know what? I think I will make a channel about it because everybody's story has value, and
Right.
is going to touch somebody. The amount of people on my channel and other places that have just said, you could be describing me. Like when I say something about the calorie counter that was in my head,
Yes.
they're like, you're describing me. And I was like, really? Because I thought I was by myself. And it's the power of community. And this community is amazing. Like I've just met so many new, just awesome people. And it's like, we're just this support, this safety net for each other. And then again, just trying to get the word out there. I think my favorite part about it is my Linus Lifestyle live stream every Tuesday with my good friend Ellie and Lindsay,
Yeah.
focusing on women's issues with this because we just felt like, I would be on live streams and it would be like all guys and me, like holding it down for the females. And that is nothing against the guys. Their stories are great. I love them. It's awesome. But I just feel like the women's voices need to be heard even more. And so, because it's like, oh, women, you're a woman, you got to eat a salad. Like, I feel like we're like pushed into that direction a lot as women. So that's, I think my favorite thing that I've started. But like I said,
Yes.
I've even started cooking videos because people go, well, what do you eat? Or how do you do this as a teacher? Like, how do you even make this happen? When you're a teacher, and so, okay, well, you want to know how I do it? I mean, I'm not professional at it, but here you go. I'll show you.
I think
um,
that's great. I mean, that to me, that's too, of course, we know that Carrie has inspired and will be inspiring millions of people.
yes.
And he inspired me also to start my channel to actually get it going.
Awesome.
And but people want to know what they can eat.
Yes.
They want to know, if I do this, what am I going to be able to eat? And
Yes.
so that is a real strong focus also on my channel. So
Well, and I'll tell you that it's inspired me to try new things. Like there's a list in my head. I probably need to write it down so I don't forget them, but of things I still want to try. And if I wasn't doing my channel and trying to, like you said, people want to know, what can I eat? Like I did carnivore crepes, which inspired Rhonda. She made carnivore crepes like the next day, or I don't know, the same day. I don't know, very soon, because she was like, those look
yes.
good. I want to try them, and oh, hey, look who's on, Robyn.
Anita!
Hi. You ran late. We're still running late, Miss Anita. It was supposed to be an hour long, and we're
Right.
over that, but that's okay. Now I'm really glad because now you came in too. Nice to see you.
Yes.
We
So
were
happy to
talking
have
about
you here.
squats earlier, Anita, and I
Yeah.
was shouting you out and saying how amazing you've been with those squats.
Yes. If you guys are
um,
not subscribed to Anita's channel, you definitely need to be. Hers is a ketogenic woman.
Yeah, she's
So yeah.
fantastic. I've been watching her since the beginning, and
Yes.
great rest. Like if you want to see a professional cook, somebody who knows what they're doing,
Yes. Who knows what she's
go
doing?
watch me. Go watch her. But if you want to see
Yes.
what just an average Joe Blow teacher is doing, that's me. But it's inspired me to try some new recipes and things that I wouldn't have done, just because it's like, oh, well, maybe I could try that, and then someone else might benefit from that. So that's what it's all about.
Awesome. Christy, I just appreciate you so much for coming and spending some time on Carnivorous Grama Speaks Women of Wisdom series. And thank you so much for being here. This has been awesome. I can't believe it's been over an hour already. Time has gone so very fast. I hope that you'll come back again
Yep,
sometime soon and we'll
I
get
sure
another
will.
chance to chat.
Well, I
We'll
think we're going to
definitely.
chat on Tuesday, aren't we?
Yes, yes. We're chatting on Tuesday, so I'm going to be on their Lioness Lifestyle live stream on Tuesday evening. So, hi, Missionary Lumpkin. This is a lady from my church.
Oh,
Oh
hi.
my
I've
gosh,
heard you talk about her.
yes, she's
Yay.
awesome. So, she's been watching some of my videos, and I'm so thankful for that.
That's
But
awesome.
just want to say, how much I appreciate you. And I watched some of your videos, and my gosh, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
I'm loving what you're doing over there, especially there was a video where you talked about um, basically all the things, all the 20%, other than the 80% that is the eating, right?
Yes.
So everything else. And
Yes.
that video was awesome. I'm going to link that video in the
Oh,
show
thank
notes
you.
once this posts up, because I think that that's really important that we understand that it's not, 80% of what we're doing and 80% of everything can be resolved with our diet. We
Mm-hmm.
realize that now, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're eating a proper human diet, 80% is that. But then there's that other 20% that you also need to think about. Like, I think you were talking about sleep and
Yep.
exercise and getting sunlight. And
Mm-hmm.
you gave a whole long list of things,
I
uh,
did.
even down to like, I think you were talking about like getting a new mattress.
Yeah, I need one. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Yep. Because my
So,
mattress is as old as my youngest child, and he's 15. And so that's too old for a
yes,
mattress.
it's time for a new
So
one.
it's time for a new one. If anyone has any suggestions for me on a good one, let me know.
Put them in the chat. Put them in the chat.
Yes, please. I need help.
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. And I just want to say thank you so much for being here. And we will see you guys next time.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.